So previously we saw that when we type in a message and hit enter, it gets appended to the contact section. But the problem with this is that as soon as we refresh our page, all of our conversations disappear. Also, there's no one logged into our app. Have you noticed that? That doesn't sound very fun. We probably want to be able to log people in and let them decide who they get to talk to, right? Because right now, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to myself. And if you have built an app where you talk to yourself, maybe that's a good idea. People might use it. I mean, Snapchat caught on. Who knows? You can call it whatever you want. I'm sure it exists out there somewhere. But what we're going to do is we're going to use a database in the cloud. And the database in the cloud we're going to use is called Firebase. And so if you go to firebase.com, it is a database as a service that is owned by Google. That's why it's firebase.google.com. And Firebase makes logging users into your application super straightforward. Now, I'm going to show you one approach to using Firebase. There are a number of great approaches, but I'm going to show you one of them that I really like and I've used for a number of the applications which I currently have deployed. The one I like the most is by using what's known as their Firestore Database. And that's what we're going to use here. So here's how that works. The first thing you should do is sign in to Firebase. Click that sign in button right there. Now I have a couple of these. I actually don't know if I have any databases with this account, but I'm going to find out really quickly. Let's see. Cool. And let's go to my console. Once you sign in, you should click on Go to Console. And in the Firebase console, you'll see if you have, oh cool, I have no apps with this account, which is nice, because then we'll both be on the same page, or we'll all be on the same page when we start this out. And so all you have to do to start a new project in Firebase is click that Add Project button. And give it a name. In this case, I'm going to call mine Android Messenger Copy. Or let's call it Clone, because Clone sounds cooler. And you can call yours whatever you want. You can't call it Android Messenger Clone, because I'm going to pick that first. And you're going to click Accept and Agree and click Create Project. Did you beat me to it? You might have got one. No, you didn't get there first? Nice, I'm super excited about that. And so it'll actually start up a project for you. It'll say your new project is ready, amazing. And then you click Continue. And once you do that, it'll take you to this cool little dashboard where you have all kinds of amazing stuff that you can have your application do. The one we're going to do right now, we're in the development phase of our project. So everybody click on the little development button right there. And it'll open up some options for you. Now these options are pretty amazing. What they give you for free is amazing, and I cannot understate this. Authentication, which allows users to log into your application. A database in the cloud, which we will be using extensively. Storage for videos, pictures, music. Maybe you want to have an app where people can upload images and do stuff with that. It also allows you to host your apps here for free, to use Firebase functions to do all kinds of cool stuff running cloud functions, and a machine learning kit. So if you remember earlier, we had our guest speaker come in and discuss machine learning applications. This is where you would do stuff like that, maybe image recognition, or maybe you want to do something with music, or text-to-speech recognition, something along those lines. You would use the ML kit that comes with Firebase. But for all we're going to do right now is click on that authentication button. And this authentication button allows you to authenticate and manage users from a variety of providers without server-side code. Now, don't worry about what that means entirely. Just know that we're going to get all of our users in here. And what we really need to do first is click that Web Setup button. See that Web Setup button right there? Everybody click that Web Setup button right now. You click on Authentication under the Develop tab, and then you click on that button in the top right where it says Web Setup. And it'll give you a bunch of code here. See all this code? This is funny because like when I was first designing this tutorial, it was 5.2, I think, and it's already at 5.3. So you notice that Firebase will constantly continue to update itself, which is actually great. But for the time being, all we need to do is copy these two scripts and put them inside the head of our index.html. So right up here at the top, I'm actually going to do this. I usually include the Firebase script before all other scripts. So I put it at the top even before the materialized JavaScript library. Is that what it says to do?
Yeah.
Copy and paste them at the bottom here before other script tags. Yeah, so we have one script tag in the head right there, which is the only reason I'm doing it before other script tags. Yeah, but very good call. And I've just kind of done that as convention, but yeah, super good call. Always do it before the other script tags. And I'm going to do a few things here because I'm weird. I'm going to change that var config to const config. I'm going to get rid of semicolons because I just don't like them. People get really mad at me about that. I'm sorry, I apologize. And I just don't like double quoted strings. I'm going to use single quoted strings. Again, this is just me being weird. I just have some weird JavaScript preferences. If I ever wrote professionally for a company, I would probably use double quotations. I would probably use semicolons. I would do the whole shebang. But if I'm building an app for myself, I just don't want to. So live your life. Write JavaScript your way, enjoy whatever you enjoy. And so this part right here, what this does is this actually connects your index.html to your Firebase database. So you have a couple things here. This is an object. This config variable is an object. And this object has 6 keys. An API key, which we talked about a lot with APIs. An auth domain, which is where will it do all the authentication for your Firebase app. A database URL, where it finds everything, where it finds your database on Firebase's account. The project ID, a storage bucket for videos, pictures, movies, whatever you want to put in there. And messaging sender ID for like push notifications and other cool stuff you want to do with your app. All right? And when you initialize your application right here, you then can use Firebase anywhere in your application. Cool? So just by doing that, we're connected to Firebase. And that's pretty amazing. So I'm going to save this right now. And I'm going to head back to Firebase, and we're going to play around with this a little bit. Shall we? Are you ready? Let's do this. Yes. Let's go into the sign-in method here. Everyone see sign-in method? Click sign in method right there. It's next to users. And you'll see that they allow you to sign in with all kinds of cool things. Email and password, phone number, Google, Google Play, Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, or anonymous sign-ins. Now for this application, all we're going to do is have people log in with Google. But you can do all different kinds of things, and I encourage you, if you want to build your own applications, figure out which one you want them people to sign in with. Because if you've ever gone to an app and it says sign in with Facebook, they let you do that pretty easily. But the easiest one by far is just signing in with Google. You just click that button right there, and you click enable. Click. Literally, that is all you need to do, and now people can sign into Google with your app. Which blows my mind, because this stuff usually takes days. Configuring OAuth for any application takes so long, but doing it like this is amazing. And so if you can look at some other configuration options here, which I will talk about later if you really want to get into it, but you don't actually want to know those things. Like I have to go in and refresh all of that information because you want to reuse this from existing projects, or you can just like renew your secrets here, but you really don't want to show those to the public. Cool? Yes, question.
What's the public-facing name?
This public-facing name is just like what people will see if they look in your project. You don't want them to see your client ID or your client secret. Those usually need to be kept out of the public eye. Cool? So if you click save right there, you should then have Google enabled on your application. And so just by doing that, we can now get Google sign-in set up on our app. And we're going to do that in the next video. Cool? Great. So if you have any questions, let me know.